must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.
The government of Kenya is keen on the development of social economic infrastructure to support the realization of the Big Four agenda and Vision 2030. The ambitious infrastructure projects are aimed at opening up the country for business and bolster productivity, particularly in the agricultural, manufacturing and the service industry, as this would bolster employment opportunities. Part of these critical infrastructure projects include the ongoing 27-kilometer expressway linking Nairobi's Jomo Kenyatta International Airport and Nairobi's Westlands. Upon completion, the expressway will exponentially reduce travel times within Nairobi and thus help the country save man-hours, which is being lost in the traffic jams on a daily basis. The Lake Victoria Port Modernization Project to increase cargo handling capacity of the port and to increase Kenya's bilateral and multilateral trading within the region. The expansion of healthcare facilities to facilitate fruition of the country's universal healthcare coverage under the Big Four agenda. By speeding up movement of people and goods, the government is aiming to promote trading through reduction of travel times and costs.
Good morning, viewers. Thank you very much. Welcome to Punchline Africa Television in conjunction with the legacy trend of His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta. Thank you very much. This is the Political Command Center in London presenting the legacy trend. How secure are we? How far have we done? You have seen from the clip that has just ended how many things that President Uhuru Kenyatta has done behind all this noise, behind all these quarrels, behind the pandemic. Today, I present the first progress of the legacy trend. How secure is it? Shall we secure a legacy? Yes. I will begin by first of all unveiling a document which is well prepared, is here, and which will be distributed to everybody. The worldwide, if you want a copy, you will get it online on our website. And it is prepared, well documented, well seasoned by the things that have happened. But I will go through this, making an abstract as a scholar, just small points that you need to see. It is very, very important, therefore, for you people to understand. And before I do that, I want to thank the panel, Professor Janet Onyari, Musa Abidi Haji, Javani Karanja, and Douglas Kirimi. We shall be joined by other two people who will be coming in, or they will be coming in on every Friday in the morning on this question of the trend. The legacy trend is to protect the legacy of His Excellency the President and the legacy of unity of purpose, prosperity, which is very clear. Unity, peace, and prosperity. That's what Uhuru Kenyatta wants to leave behind. There is no other legacy he wants. If you want anything else, he doesn't want to leave a country which is torn to pieces. He doesn't want to leave a country without progress. He doesn't want to leave a country without prosperity. He doesn't want to leave a country without unity. Unity is the core nature of the handshake and the BBI that President Uhuru Kenyatta and the former Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga sat down on 9th of March 2018 and hammered an agreement. Viewers, I want to be very, very categorical that I am and I will support the legacy, the handshake, the BBI. Come what rain, shine, whatever it is, rainstorms, thunder, any wave will not take us away from the focus that the two leaders have put on this nation called Kenya. Today, in this first report and pamphlet of ours, I unveil, I look at aspects. Many people want to look at the aspect of the Agenda 4, but I want to look at different aspects. There is a question that we must solve, and that question that we must solve is, was the money borrowed for the right reasons? Many of you would not understand why people are opposed to some of the things, the projects that have been done. You must begin by emphasizing the point that the borrowing and getting money to do infrastructure, housing, food security, and manufacturing was important. If people want to have truth, they can go to other places. But for us here, we shall be hammering the real truth, that there was need to borrow. No country in the world that does not borrow. There was need to get this money from China. So the first phase of this report singles out that, and you will see quite a lot of the bilateral ties between China and Kenya. What are these bilateral ties? Did China come here to help us? Does China's money help the people of Kenya? How far has it helped? And that is it. Anybody who does not want to understand can shut his eyes or listen to us or ears. But the truth is that the money was borrowed and invested. And you'll see in 5 years to come, 10 years to come. Today we are singing of Kibaki did the roads. Kibaki did this. Kibaki did this. But we are now singing how many years? 8 years past. Hadn't Kibaki gone out to do what he was doing, even at times without IMF, without World Bank, would this project be there? We would be still walking on Thika Road with potholes that between here, between town and reaching Kahawa, you would take 6 hours. A man who was flown to Mombasa would fly 6 times. But the founding father, the second founding father of the nation, or the third, decided to invest in infrastructure. Did that road, and today everybody wants some on Thika Road. If you tell anybody in Nairobi, Miriam, thank you very much, in the general headquarters. If you tell anybody in Nairobi, where do you want to have a house? The first thing is say is Resambu, Thika, or somewhere, Thika Road, because it is available, accessible to town. And that is a very good fundamental thing that we have tried. Even those who are in Pangani, those who are in Kileleshwa would like to move on a faster lane that would arrive them at their place of work. So, was the money borrowed for a cause? Yes. The China, in this document, I have emphasized the bilaterals of China and Kenya. How China has come handy and helped this country to move forward on the terms of the loans that they got. The second part of this, the journey started with the unity of purpose. You cannot borrow money, you cannot invest in a country when there is no unity of purpose between the investor and the man calling you to invest. Food and security, the cooperation alone, is very, very important. How do you cooperate? If you are not cooperating with the Chinese, how are you going to lend, to borrow their money? That cooperation was needed. It was not conditional. It is not to kill. If you refuse it, it cannot happen. If you want it, it happens. So the legacy trend seeks to make sure that we teach people to understand that there was need for cooperation between China and Kenya. Point number 4, we intend to look at the food security, production, and exports. Most of our exports, where do they go? Uhuru Kenyatta has made an international scene, and a scene very favorable for the trade. Had it not been the pandemic, that we see that is ravaging the whole of Africa, we would have been in another state.
All right, we seem to have suffered a bit of a technical hitch there from Doctor's side, but once he's able to have that fixed, he shall continue outlining some of the things that President Uhuru Kenyatta has been able to achieve on his legacy this morning, and that is our subject of discussion. So Doctor shall be back with us very, very soon, as we know and understand that the Big Four agenda is based on a 4-point agenda by President Uhuru Kenyatta, outlining what he will be focusing on in his last presidential term to improve the living standards of Kenyans, grow the economy, and leave a lasting legacy. And the Big Four agenda items include food security, manufacturing, mainly focusing on job creation in this area, affordable universal healthcare, and affordable housing. And for the affordable housing, we've seen a lot of the houses, even at Park Road, I think they're complete. They're just waiting for Kenyans who have had the opportunity to be owners of those houses, I think, to start getting into those houses. They're complete. The houses are at Park Road in Ngara and other places. So that we've seen has happened. And also food security and affordable healthcare. We saw the rollout in the 4 counties trials. So we're still waiting to know how that went out and perhaps the plans the government has moving forward. So as we wait for Doctor to join us back, Professor, so far, how do you think President Uhuru Kenyatta has performed in terms of his legacy?
Yeah, Miriam, Dr. President Uhuru Kenyatta's legacy is intact, is on course. And I want also to agree with the doctor that it is very important. There's no country in the world which doesn't borrow. But Miriam, the only problem I have, at what cost do you borrow that money? Do you put that money in good use? Miriam, you know the standard gauge railway, the similar, the one has been built in Tanzania, the one which has been built in Ethiopia. But why is it when it comes to Kenya, it becomes so expensive? It goes without saying, Dr. Miriam, that money goes to corruption. And we have seen a commitment from the president himself that is so much committed even in fighting corruption, Miriam. You know, as I do, Miriam, that President Uhuru Kenyatta has done remarkably very well when it comes to fighting corruption. He has led his ministers from independence. This country has been independent for the last 58, 59 years or so. We have seen the Minister for Finance being charged in court and leaving in office and stepping aside. That is huge and something phenomenal, Miriam, that the president is committed. In fact, Miriam, you know, despite the pandemic of coronavirus, Miriam, which closed the world and which have affected all other economies of the world, we have kept on going. So, Miriam, from where I sit, if we manage to midwife the BBI, and it's not far away from June, the proposed day for the referendum, Miriam, President Uhuru Muigai's legacy will be a rich one. It will be very huge thing that he has done for this country. Why? Miriam, President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta talks about inclusivity. Mm-hmm. Miriam, Dr. Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta talks about national ethos. He talks about shared prosperity. We have seen what kind of programs he has come with the young people, Miriam. He is on course of saying that Miriam, as Kiwa and an unhealthy nation, Miriam, must have food. That's why you see, Miriam, we are talking about food security. See, Gorana food irrigation project, Miriam. So it means well for this country. If we could have gotten enough cooperation from the people whom they are sharing and working in the government, Miriam, he could have achieved his legacy much faster than he could, because I gave you an analogy yesterday, Miriam. We are in a pot. Water is leaking in. I am trying to seal so that the water does not come in. What do? You keep on moving, Miriam. It will reach a point where this pot will sink. But the president has remarkably done very well, because you can see his deputy is going to church with sacks of money to go and give in Harambes. Miriam, where does he get this money? What kind of investment does he have? So this is where the disconnect I have. That, and you know, I belong to the club of the world, Miriam. I say, if any government made a proposal to any government, to word an institution, Miriam, that you are borrowing money to go and do a road, to go and do an irrigation, to go and put infrastructure. If you come to that country and you don't find those projects, Miriam, then ask the person who gave you the money where he took it.
All right.
I submit.
Accountability, and I think Doctor has joined us, is back with us. So, Doctor, you can continue there. We apologize for that technical hitch that was experienced from your side.
It's muted. Dr. Masanga, unmute. Okay.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'll repeat where the professor was speaking. The prosperity is one of the hinge points of the legacy. Unity of purpose, peace, and prosperity for Kenya. Nobody has it. We have it. Uhuru has it. He needs to leave a legacy of united Kenya, a peaceful Kenya, a prosperous Kenya. And exactly as you were saying, Prof, that is one of the items that are in this reading. Trade and investment is also one of them. We have looked at the trade and investment. The imbalances between Kenya and China is great. Of course, it has been seen. But why did the president decide to trade with China? Because it is easily, it's a market, a big market. Am I still on or not? It is an easy market, a big market, a market that you can control, where you can supply. As I was saying, the food security and the production and exports to China of avocados from Muranga, from Nanyuki, from Meru, from anywhere. People have begun growing those avocados. That's a legacy. When you look at Huduma Center, you find the flagship is the Huduma number. It is becoming very clear that the National Data Bank is a legacy of President Uhuru Kenyatta. The coming years, 5 to 6 years to come, if you don't have a number, your ID, which is used anywhere, when you are traveling in the world, whether on the plane, whether at the airport, you need that number. Huduma number is one of the legacy flagships of President Uhuru Kenyatta. He has left it, he has brought biometric data. The world is moving into the direction of biometric data. And therefore, if you look at the Big Four agenda, which Miriam has already said in that clip, our clip that we showed in the morning at the beginning of this show, and it is a matter of any researcher to find out that biodata, metric data, is one of the basis of a new generation. Nobody wants to carry documents, heaps of textbooks, books around showing your logbook of a car as big as this. It's only a simple thing, a card, your driving license. This is the flagship of the agenda, Big Four. When you come to Big Four itself, housing, the low-cost housing, the president has managed. By 2020, they had completed 228 complete housing units. And out of 1,370 construction, Park Road, somewhere in the city of London, and more are being built. You come to universal health care, more will be built in the time to come. The government that will take over will actually manage to complete, if that is supposed to be completed, because there is no government that can finish. Uhuru Kenyatta completed what Kibaki had left. He came in and completed. Any government in the world completes the other work of the other government. It's only any student who's learning who should not, who doesn't know. But any student who learns knows that successive governments help the others. They won't continue with the work of the other governments. It's only in Africa that when one government goes over, we kill everything, including the owners, those who used to be in the other government. No, government institutions are there. The low-cost housing is a fundamental vision 2030. You like it, you don't like it, you will have to continue with it. And when you look at the manufacturing industry, manufacturing sector, which is the fourth agenda, so many industries are springing up. And as you can see from the document, you will see we have given examples of industries that have come up. But COVID has come out to destroy us. COVID has frustrated us. COVID has made it difficult for people at the moment for industry to produce to full capacity. It is not only Kenya that is suffering. All countries are suffering. Infrastructure. Oh my God. If you look at the infrastructure of President Uhuru Kenyatta, what he has done, what he's doing, what he intends to do, he will leave a legacy. The roads, the revamping of Nanyuki Rail, the revamping of rail stations, the highway that we see to remove congestion of traffic. That is a legacy. You will not destroy that road. Even if you are Tanga, even if you are cattle rustler, even if you are a hustler coming from any angle, you will not destroy the road that is passing through Uhuru Park all the way to Westlands. You will enjoy it and even sleep. When it is raining, you will go under to cover your rain. It has also, so many people say this road is for who? But there are people who use it for covering the rain when it rains. Yes, it is a function of a community of citizens. For every citizen to run under that bridge to cover rain, whether you are hungry or not. It is a very important shelter for us, because walking from town to Serena Hotel would be a very big nightmare. That is the legacy. Construction. Go around Kenya. Look at the way buildings are coming. The roads are coming. Oh my God, everybody is trying to build a house. And I don't know, you Kenyans always like to build apartments. I don't know whether God said you must have houses. Every Kenyan who is rich or who gets money, the first place to begin is I want an apartment. Everywhere, even in social life, if you try it, which we can bring out later on in other shows. Construction is enormous. 8.5% of the growth in 2017 was out of the market of construction. And that one you read and you will find. When we come to Nairobi as an economic hub, Nairobi as an economic hub, you can see from this booklet that we have released, which we are going to release now. It has changed. And I believe Kirimi will understand. He walks in town and he sees that MNS have done what a great job. Then we come to Mombasa Port. The port previously had hitches where you go for clearing your car, you take 200, you even spend more money than the car bought. You bought in a car in London, you want to clear a car to go home, you can spend 2 weeks running in the port. It has facilitated there is a legacy. The changes in Mombasa Port, as you will see from here, is very clear from this book that you are going to read. Then you look at Lamu Port, the construction of Lapsset. It is also a big landmark that shows the legacy of His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta. Road infrastructure, look at this. If you look at this document as it comes to you, which all of you will be getting, road infrastructure, Kenya's existing network is 63,575 kilometers tarmac, classified road. And out of that, 225 kilometers of unclassified roads. Out of the total 177 kilometers of road networks, both classified and unclassified. Therefore, if you look at that, surely everywhere you go, Karanja will tell you, anybody, Professor Oyani was in his home area, he will tell you there was a grader somewhere. Someone was trying to do something. His man will tell you, Haji, there was a grader somewhere rolling, although the Isiolo people have an airport that they don't utilize. I don't know what Musa Haji is going to tell us about that airport that has not been utilized, whether it is in Wanjiu or Isiolo. I think it's Isiolo. Okay, what are the cost benefits of this legacy? It will make it very important for you to know that integration of East Africa and Africa brings us what we call cost benefits. Rwanda, Tanzania, Burundi, and other eastern parts of Congo, as a result of good roads and a good networking and a good ports, are united. Will get services faster than any other person. You come at road toll. There are people questioning about road toll stations. For every road, Professor, you need a road toll to pay for what you are driving on. Somewhere in London where I live here, before you enter our estate or before you enter our area, there is money paid for every month for the man to remove the bar before you go. It's not just a public road, everybody. And you can't find a pothole there. That is a road toll. So if they are gaining money, it is also discouraging you from taking your vehicle. You take a bicycle. Airport infrastructure. You have seen the airports. All of them are mushrooming. Even airstrips have been upgraded. I saw one I saw something on the news where an airport is being dug in the jungle. This is very good for a legacy of President Uhuru Kenyatta to promote tourism, which is very, very important for the people of Kenya. French investments. As a result of this, good things, the French have come to invest in Kenya. Commercial construction of buildings. Everywhere in Kenya, in Nairobi, in all cities of Nairobi, you have seen commercial construction. Buildings are coming up for rent, for shops, for supermarkets, so on and so forth. Tourism is flourishing. Flourishing tourism is the most important thing that you can see any human being would like to see a country to have. But we have a bottleneck of the pandemic. The pandemic that has reduced the number of tourists coming into Kenya. The African Development Bank has so far injected $9.53 billion in technology park, in the Konza Technology Park. If you come that side, you can see Konza is coming out. I don't know how many of you have driven across there. Therefore, for any investment in Kenya from the United States has increased, and it has increased tremendously. There are so many graders, caterpillars, and so many companies are coming to fight for the big machines to be brought into Kenya. In a summary, there are many projects that the legacy has done. The Big Four, therefore, must collect data, enough data, And believe me or not, the panel will understand enough data from Huduma number to know what you need. You cannot ask for water when you don't need it. Yesterday we had a discussion on Zimbabwe. You see, someone was telling people that they don't have water to wash their hands. But because there is no data, you need data to know where Karanja is. What are the needs of Karanja? How many youths are like a Karanja? What do they want? The legacy continues. This is the first briefing in the first quarter. That is our submission. Therefore, the book will be, it is free for everybody. You call for it, you get it. Thank you very much. This is the booklet. It is here done by the Legacy Trend and the moderator of the Legacy Trend. And you can always ask questions of what we have compiled here. You can have a read. Behind all this noise, I can summarily say, Miriam, back to you in the headquarters to continue with our same subject and others, that the Legacy Trend, therefore, is one of the pillars. The legacy is the pillar of President Uhuru Kenyatta. He wants to leave a united country, a peaceful country, a prosperous country. I beg to move and I ask for questions.
All right, very well. Before the questions, I'd like Chairman Karanja to just add on something there on the legacy.
Thank you very much, Miriam, for the opportunity. And thank you for Dr. David Matsanga for giving us a very candid benefit of why the country is borrowing to do this project. And today I agree that the money that has been borrowed from Euroboard, from other countries, are well utilized, because we can see and touch some of the projects that have been delivered by President Uhuru Kenyatta. And in terms of infrastructure, Miriam, President Uhuru Kenyatta has done quite well. And in this area of Mount Kenya region, let me say we are beneficiaries, and maybe to some extent, big beneficiaries of President Uhuru Kenyatta development agenda. We have the renovated railway from Nairobi to Nanyuki that is crisscrossing the counties of Kiambu, Murang'a, Nyeri, Laikipia, and therefore the agricultural aspect in this area has been boosted, and people are able to take products from Nairobi, the small scale business, to import goods to take goods from Nairobi to their place of work. Therefore, to me, that is quite significant, because that is how we create jobs and we eliminate the issue of poverty and the dependent syndrome, where people depend on handouts or to be helped. On the issue of roads, Miriam, we have the Mau Mau Road that is cutting across transversing 4 counties in Mount Kenya region. And this will open the area, and the road is named Mau Mau in remembrance of the veteran Mau Mau warriors who fought for independence. And that road is quite significant in terms of transport, in terms of agriculture, in terms of opening up region, because it extends all the way to Naivasha. And this ensures that Central Kenya and Rift Valley are well interconnected in terms of exchange, trade, and so on. Therefore, Miriam, in terms of legacy, President Uhuru Kenyatta has done exemplarily well, and I hope the remaining term of office, he will be able to complete some of the projects that he has already commissioned, so that as he leaves office, the president will come in future, will continue working on them to ensure that this country is headed to the right direction in terms of development. Because, Miriam, the sole purpose why we pay our taxes and why we have government is to have a government that will deliver services that we can't do ourselves. We can't build our roads as a people, but the government will do that with the taxes. Therefore, the best and the most important thing is to ensure that the money that we pay for the government, the taxes that we give to the government, are accounted for. And Miriam, we can see that happening because we have seen the project. And Miriam, if we start talking about the legacy of President Uhuru Kenyatta, we can do that the whole day. Let me submit and give others time to comment. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Douglas Kirimi.
Thank you, Miriam. And also, we need to understand as a people that this country has had a wrong way, that the legacy of President Uhuru Kenyatta has brought inclusivity to the people of Kenya. There are places in this country, Miriam, where for the first time they have seen tarmac and they have said, truly, we've been united through development by the President of the Republic of Kenya. For example, in Meru, when the President completed the Mate Road from Kadwana Town, Shiakariga, from Shiakariga to Mitungu, from Mitungu to Meru Town, it has saved the people of Meru, especially the people of Tharaka Nithi and Meru counties. It has saved them a lot of time and also resources that they would spend on the road, taking their farm produce to Meru Town and other connecting towns. And that is one of the most significant roads projects that the president has done in Meru, and it has united the two counties and the communities that live therein, and also visitors that come to trade across the bridge. And also, Miriam, we need to know that this legacy of President Uhuru Kenyatta has also gone to the opposition strongholds, and also especially to the people of the coast. I heard Colonel Cyrus Oguna, the government spokesperson, spare out over 400 projects that have been started by the government of President Uhuru Kenyatta in the coast province. Whereas we have known the people and also the leaders of the coast province have been rising to power using the government and saying how they have been historically marginalized, the president has been able to bridge the gap and also unite these people through Dongokundu bypass and also the bridge at Riwatoni that I'm very passionate about for the people of Rikoni, and also many Mutopanga Bridge and many other projects, the rehabilitation of Ukunda Airport, Diani, and others. And also, Miriam, in Kisumu, we have seen this legacy of President Uhuru Kenyatta go ahead to unite the people of Kisumu and also give development to the people, a rightful share. It has demonstrated that the president has gone beyond the partisan kind of politics. He has gone before and also beyond the kind of politics that we have been practicing for so many years. If people don't vote for a particular president, he cannot be able to deliver development to them. And also, Miriam, we need to understand the people of Northeastern, also from Nuno to Mondogash, they have been able to receive a road, I think over 70 kilometers of road or so, that has been able to transform that area that was formerly a desert, and people would not venture into those areas to go and buy livestock from northeastern Kenya and northern parts of Kenya, and also to the eastern, the raw eastern sides of Kenya. And also, Miriam, we need to understand that what the president has done is remarkable, and also many future presidents will continue building on such a foundation. There is no one that will benchmark on President Uhuru Kenyatta's infrastructural projects and come below that. Thank you, Miriam, and thank you for having me on the show.
Very well. Thank you so much. Musa Abdi.
Thank you, Miriam. Thank you for having me on the show. I've heard Dr. Matsanga speaking about, the issues of development and the role played by Uhuru Kenyatta's presidency. And Miriam, we are living in the age whereby everything and anything, Miriam, people are criticizing everything. People are not good at appreciating, Miriam. The other day you saw out of nowhere, we don't know if it is true, people are now criticizing the, Buckingham Palace for some racial issues. It is the world of technology. People are speaking whatever they wish, whatever they intend to do, Miriam. And it's so unfortunate that this is happening in our world, and we need to be careful. But apart from that, as far as President Uhuru Kenyatta is concerned, Miriam, as a region, we've really benefited a lot, Miriam, in terms of representation, in terms of equality, in terms of what we call, we are now moving from that, narrative of 57 years of marginalization, Miriam. It has never been easy for my people. This is a systematic, seclusion and neglect by the two preceding government, Miriam. And it's something which, the locals continue to, to remember despite, all the things which have been going around. And some of the things which I can say, I will say President Uhuru Kenyatta has really done a job here. And every young man in this country will agree with me, is the issue of digitization of government services, Miriam. In Isiolo County, I could go to Meru, Miriam, if I'm a teacher, to submit my tax returns. I could go to Meru, Miriam, in 1990s, and even, when before President Uhuru Kenyatta came, I could go as far as Meru to submit my payslip and, tax returns, Miriam, application of IDs, application of, company licenses, Miriam. And all these things have been turned into a battle play whereby no matter where you are, you can access the issuance of your passport, the issuance of your ID, the issuance of your driving license, and importantly, Miriam, government services of birth certificate, death certificate, replacements. The other day I lost my birth certificate and it took me 4 hours to replace it at Huduma Center in Isiolo, Miriam. Those are the things you can't do if digitization could not have been done, Miriam. So it's very important, and people should understand this because of the connectivity which has really been happening since he took over. The fiber connection, the underground cable connection from Nairobi to Mandera, which has been undertaken during the time of Mwai Kibaki, was completed by President Uhuru Kenyatta the other year, Miriam, which now it will take just a few activation for this whole country to go 4G, Miriam. And there is importance in that. Let me stress this, Miriam. Back then, I could feel I'm not a Kenyan when it takes you 4 to 5 years to get your ID, Miriam. You could go to a vetting process in Laikipia, you could go to a vetting process in Meru, you could be returned back and be told, go and apply for an ID in your local area. The other day, Miriam, for your information, the permanent secretary for public works and issues of interior came to a very famous town in my locality called Garbatula, whereby they have launched a sub-county headquarters for birth and death registration, Miriam. These are the issues we should be talking about. It is very important and it is relevant, Miriam. Secondly, this is by far the largest loan to be given to an African country by a World Bank. Since independence, it has never been given. 81.2 billion Kenya shillings, Miriam. That is the largest amount of loan ever to be granted to a country by World Bank. And that is in the construction of Isiolo-Wajir Mandera Road, which is approximately 450 kilometers, Miriam. What does that tell you? I wish one day you could travel in that road, Miriam, up to now, and I can travel in that area for 9 to 11 hours to my locality. Someone traveling to Mandera can take 15 to 18 hours, Miriam. Traveling, carrying their cabbages, those perishable goods. But now the influence and, the atmosphere has really changed. As we are now speaking, last week, some graders came, some ground movers have already arrived, Miriam. People have been given compensation for the lands, laws, and, the property to be damaged. And these are the issues we should be speaking about. Ending marginalization structurally, Miriam, not verbally. And these are the things. Imagine 450 kilometers surpassing through Isiolo, Wajir, Garissa, and Mandera, Miriam. That is, you have removed 4 counties from marginalization directly by that road, Miriam. And so we say thank you. Let me tell you, not anyone can remember you for this, Miriam. But as far as Uhuru Kenyatta is concerned, when that road will be finished, Miriam, and it is not Class B or Class C, it is Class A, Miriam, which is going to be outlaid in that region. And it is very important for us. What Dr. Matsanga mentioned, and I will answer him, is the dormancy of Isiolo International Airport. What is the reason behind this? The reason behind this is that, Miriam, we are a pastoral community and we really depend big time on issues of meat and livestock keeping. It has really been hard for us, Miriam, transporting meat all the way from Isiolo to Kiamaiko here in Nairobi, for the cow to be inspected, for the cow to be slaughtered. By the time that cow reaches here in Nairobi, Kiamaiko, Miriam, there have been a significant weight loss. There have been a significant, spread of diseases here and there. And even the cost of transporting these livestock from Isiolo to Kiamaiko here in Nairobi is really high, Miriam. As far as I'm aware, the Uhuru Kenyatta's government has invested 200 million Kenya shillings in revamping and reviving of Isiolo Meat Abattoir. That is a sub-branch of Kenya Meat Commission, Miriam. And they have said in 3 months' time, that meat commission shall be opened. What does that tell you, Miriam? The dormancy of Isiolo International Airport will come to an end because there is a deal between the county government of Isiolo and the national government brokering between the state of Qatar and United Arab Emirates to purchase these meats directly from these pastoral counties, Miriam, through Isiolo. And it is only possible if that road, the road which is now being constructed, will be complete, Miriam. And this shows a very big relevance as far as, ensuring that economic activity of that region is concerned. Finally, Miriam, what has been happening as far as, issues of representation is concerned. And I would like to make this one clear. Whether people will like it or not, you cannot say it is the time of Deputy President William Ruto. No. Uhuru Kenyatta, Miriam, this was the time we enjoyed the highest level of representation, Miriam, as far as community is concerned. We were given the leader of majority in the National Assembly, Miriam Eden Duale, who served for 7 good years representing the region. It has never happened since independence, Miriam. We've never had, even the leader of majority, Miriam, even a house member, a committee head was a problem. We were given ministerial jobs, Miriam. Amina Mohammed is here, the CS for Foreign Affairs, before she was transferred to to education and then sports. The Ethics and Anti-Corruption CEO, Alake Wako, Miriam. For the first time, you could see community which is marginalized managing such a Class A parastatal, Miriam. Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission is a Class A, Miriam. We are not lying about that. And now when you see a community which has been marginalized for 52 years managing that kind of parastatal, it shows that level of representation and equality has really been achieved, Miriam. We are not complaining about that. And finally, Miriam, as far as connectivity is concerned, it is in this time we've seen the connection of, fiber optic, Safaricom, and other, private telecommunication, Miriam, having presence in this area. Why? A telecommunication cannot invest in the area if there is no security stability, Miriam. That is a very key question. And when I mean by security stability is that the issue of security and the issue of cattle rustling in the region, Miriam, it has really been going down in a way, and I will explain this. Through the Ministry of Interior, Miriam, we've really, we saw a lot of addition of, police stations, administration, police headquarters, Miriam. As far as now as we are speaking, we have one of the largest police headquarters in Isiolo, Miriam, anti-stock theft unit, that is ASTU, which is really being given a lot of concerns and a lot of, funding, Miriam. So all this is speaking. People might critique President Uhuru Kenyatta, but as far as speaking good and critical analysis is concerned, no one is perfect, definitely. We shall never forget Mwai Kibaki for the 2007-2008 general election. People speak about Anglolism. There must be, no one can be perfect, Miriam. But as far as this is concerned, I would say Uhuru Kenyatta is heading the right way. And this is the legacy which stands to be attained and achieved, Miriam. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Doctor.
Thank you very much. I don't know whether you said me.
Yes, we are ending the show, yes.
Yes, thank you very much, Professor Gerard Onyari, Douglas Kerimi, Javani Karanja, and my dear friend Musa Abidi Haji. It is this struggle that we, every Friday, 1 hour we shall take on our journey. To show, we didn't know, for example, that it is the first time that a grader has ever stepped in that territory since the world was created by God. This is very important, but Uhuru Kenyatta has managed to move all these things to work. Why your factory, your abattoir is not working? It's because it might not have access. You can't carry animals by helicopter or by plane.
Yes.
So the management of the people of Isiolo should have sat down and see, instead of giving money to the budgetary other issues, they should have concentrated on the road. Since it is a road by the government, central government, the government has decided to do it. And I hope whether Uhuru Kenyatta lives today or tomorrow, if he lives tomorrow, 2022, the government that will come in power will continue to make sure that this is followed and this is done very properly, and that is what we call a legacy. I want to take this opportunity to thank all of you. You will have this on www.thelegacytrend. This document, this booklet, it can be sent to you. Those in the office will have their copies in hard copy, and they will be coming shortly through some courier who will deliver them to you. So otherwise, the rest of the people who want to watch, who want to listen, who want to know about the legacy, go on that website, and that will give you all what we have done. We protect, we secure, we make sure that the legacy of His Excellency the President is not forgotten behind all this noise. This morning, as Miriam takes us into the other session of somebody saying police are killing us, when he's part of the policemen, he's part of the government. I have just asked a question on social media. It is making everybody wanting to fall down. So take us there and we hammer these things down. I have asked one question and you have seen, Musa, how people are frowning. The man is in the government. He didn't help his friend for legacy. Then he says, this police. Whose police? It is your police. You are the deputy president. That's your police. And then you go and say the policemen are killing us. I don't know which police you will inherit. Will you recruit a new police? Uhuru Kenyatta, we shall see the next phases. As I told you, this is going to be a briefing which we shall be doing until 2022, when we finally say, these are our book. These are our books out of the legacy. And we hand them over. We thank you very much for listening. God bless you. Thank you in Nairobi. God bless you too. I am here for the next show of coming up next is the punch. And over to Miriam.
All right. Thank you for watching. We shall see you in a short while. The government of Kenya is keen on the development of social economic infrastructure to support the realization of the Big Four agenda and Vision 2030. The ambitious infrastructure projects are aimed at opening up the country for business and bolster productivity, particularly in the agricultural, manufacturing and the service industry, as this would bolster employment opportunities. Part of these critical infrastructure projects include the ongoing 27-kilometer expressway linking Nairobi's Jomo Kenyatta International Airport and Nairobi's Westlands. Upon completion, the expressway will exponentially reduce travel times within Nairobi and thus help the country save man-hours, which is being lost in the traffic jams on a daily basis. The Lake Victoria Port Modernization Project to increase cargo handling capacity of the port and to increase Kenya's bilateral and multilateral trading within the region. The expansion of healthcare facilities to facilitate fruition of the country's universal healthcare coverage under the Big Four agenda. By speeding up movement of people and goods, the government is aiming to promote trading through reduction of travel times and costs.